Hey guys, I'm so excited. This is part 2 of 4 in how to make these two little bears. Now, if you like the first one or you haven't seen the first one, please go look at it. I will leave it in the description below if you still haven't seen it. And let's get started. Alright guys, I know that you guys were waiting for this since last time. So did I finally do it after the 10th time? Come on, little Leafy. Don't fail me now. And drum roll, please. Ta-da! There's the apple. I'm so happy how the apple turned out. And yes, I know they weren't drums, but that still sounded fun. Now it's time to do the little paws. All you're seeing me do right now is just doing the little V shape for the bottom of their paws. And I learned that they have 5 little fingies on their paws. So that's what I'm going to do next. Just roll up a little piece of clay and cut them just big enough to fit all 5. Now, as you can see, the first time I had to take off the little pad so that I could actually get it through there, and all I'm using this tool for is just to get it as close as I can to make sure that they don't fall off. And then I'm just doing the other paw. So all I do is just roll up little pieces of clay, do 5 of them, push them all together, and then you're going to put on the V-shaped one on the bottom of it. And then you're just going to use the tool to make sure that it's all squished in there and it still has its detail. Make sure the little apple fits in his paws. And then I was going to start doing the actual fur bit right here, but then I was like, no wait, I had to finish the back of him. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just adding more of the Sculpey original to the entire body. And all I'm doing is just making sure that I smooth this out because this is going to be all detailed. And take your time with it. You don't need to rush. You can just keep on putting on pieces of clay, make sure they're all smoothed out and they don't look all bumpy, and keep on going. And gooey, and gooey, and gooey. Okay, and then I'm just adding a little bit more clay to his behind, and that's only because bears have big butts and they have big bellies. So that's why I'm adding a little bit more to the sides, so he has more of a bear fluffy look. Now all I'm doing is just making sure that it's smoothed out, and I'm adding more as I go along. And the only reason why you do this is just so that you can kind of break it down into sections, you know? Just so that it doesn't become overwhelming to you, especially if it's going to be your first time. And we're just going to keep on smoothing some more.
I'm a human oyster.
You know that's going to be part of the video now. I'm a human oyster. Yep, and now we're just smoothing out the head and coming out great. Doing the rest of the back of the head. Make sure that you kind of like pinch it around because then you can take off the excess when you need to. And voila! See? Little paws and everything. Now I'm going to show you guys how to do the little fur texture. It's exactly the same way that we did the little grass texture, which is just making a circle motion, which I was trying to show you there, but it didn't come up in the camera. And all you're doing is just circles, and you're going into like a line, just so that you keep on doing it, and it becomes bear fur texture. Alright, got it. And now All I recommend to you guys is if you guys are gonna do this, don't do it in one sitting, because it took about 2, maybe 3 hours to just finish his entire body full of fur. So take enough breaks in between so it doesn't become super hard for you. And I forgot this entire time to put on the light so you guys could actually see. I'm sorry about that. But it wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't forget something. Should be my motto. Forget something and re-put it back in. And always make sure, you guys, that when you're doing the fur texture, do not smudge the part that you already fixed. So that's why I'm always holding on to the head or the bottom of the body so that I don't smash the work that I just did. Now, doing the fur texture for the hands was a little bit tricky. I actually had to hold it with my finger, only because since it wasn't like pre-done before, so just make sure that you're very delicate with that part, because then that way you're not ruining your little paws. See, and already by now you can see the actual fur texture and how it's going to look by the time you finish the entire project. So just remember, don't give up, take plenty of breaks, and just don't go insane like I did. And like I said before, just don't touch any of the fur texture, because then you're gonna have to do it again. So just be patient, keep rolling around, and just make sure that you don't touch it. I don't know what happened here, but apparently it became rain. I'm telling you, fur for days. I even go crazy and I start singing on my own because I start getting bored. I will get through this. No matter what I do, I'll get through this. I know that I will try to make it a little teddy bear. Oh yeah. All this fur is killing me, but it's okay 'cause he'll look good. And I know that I tried so hard, and at the end I will succeed. For I am not a quitter. I will make it through the day. Oh baby, I will conquer you, and I will make it through the day. So baby, you won't beat me, I will succeed, and I'll never ever forget the day I conquered you. Little teddy bear, I know that you will look good with this fur. So I will not quit till I finish it, and I'll finish the girl too. 'Cause both of you will make me believe that I can do anything. Oh, I will do anything. If I put my mind into it, I will get through it. It's never boring being a french fry. What did I tell ya? Crazy, crazy, I say. Yep, and as you can see, I'm halfway there. Yay!
And I am almost done. I got to his little booty. And let's keep going. And for days. And yet, as you can tell by my hand changing positions all the time, it started to actually bother me. So, like I said, I will tell you guys again and again and again, don't pull a Jaja. Take your breaks. If your body needs to take a break, take a break. Down to the feet now. And then finally I can put him on his actual stand. I should have done it before, but it was harder to like move him around. So whichever one is your preference, definitely use. It's better to stay on the base just so that you can just roll it around and do the fur texture. Be my guest. Or if you need to hold it by the head like I did, then do whichever one feels better to you. Alright, and now all I'm doing with the wire is just making sure that it's long enough so that he can be standing on his little base. And now I make the little holes, make sure it's through, and voila, he's on there. And then I also put a little pin in there as well to the apple so that it can stay on there. And I noticed that I made the base a little too short at this point, so I decided to put more of the pink clay that I had extra, and I made him stand up a little bit more. And now I'm just doing the head. And the first things first that I always do is just make sure that I have the mouth, and what I decided to do this time was actually keep his mouth open with his little tongue sticking out like he's gonna eat the apple. And now I'm just making sure that the cheeks are a little bit fuller because he is a bear after all, and you want to make sure that he's plumpy and fluffy. And then I'm doing the eyes right here. I should have made this a little bit slower so you guys could see. I will do it for the next sculpture I do so that you guys have a little tutorial on how to do the eyes, but that will be in a future video. And now all I'm doing is just making the little ears. I do little triangles out of the tin foil that I have, and I stick them on there, and then all I'm doing is just taking them off, putting them into the clay, and then I use the X-Acto knife to cut the shape that I want. And then I see if it works on there. And right when it does, I decide to cover the entire thing, smooth it all out. And I do the little tweaks that I need with that. And voila! I put it on there and it's gonna stick. It's gonna stay there. And then you're just gonna smooth out the rest of the clay that was around his ears. And now I'm just doing the other ear, making sure it's all done, all set. And there we go. Put it on there, and now the back of the head needed a little bit more of that clay, so I decided to fill it up. And I'm sorry guys, but I'm leaving you guys with another cliffhanger. So we'll see in the next video on how he looks at the end. See ya!